Hello, everybody. My name is Christian Slider, and welcome back to That's the Flavor, your weekly podcast where I sit down with my friends, talk about random stories in my life, random topics I come up with, and then maybe sometimes they interconnect, and we just talk about both things at the same time. Or we call the podcast a Carnival Goldfish. You know, we mix it up from time to time.
Full circle!
It's a one-episode full circle. It happened last week.
I don't care.
I shouldn't have said it. This week I am joined again by Ozzy, as you know he expressed his interest on being on. Well, more demanded he was on this episode to discuss today's topic. That we'll get into later.
It's important.
And then this week I am also joined by a new person to the podcast, of Fran. So hello, Fran.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Christian.
I can hear the hesitation in your voice. I blame Ozzy.
I don't know what to expect. Ozzy is so hyped up that I'm concerned.
Yeah, this is normal, unfortunately.
No,
This
I'm
is just
ready.
me.
It is, but it's a certain energy level that just, I don't know, like percolates, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, percolation. For those of you that don't know, That's the Flavor is a podcast that hits your feeds every Monday on your favorite podcast service. I'm gonna keep going. I gotta keep going through the list here.
Hello, welcome to the podcast. It's a podcast.
It is a podcast. So you can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, maybe the dark web, wherever you find it. Who knows?
It is a podcast.
It is. It happens to be one. That is true. Where was I going to go? You can also go ahead and follow at That's the Flavor on Twitter. Go ahead, ask us questions. We have some from people that follow me on Twitter for this week. That was weird wording. And also, I want to really quickly thank you guys on the support for the return of the show. Definitely, there's been a lot of support for the last episode, and hopefully it stays that way. I don't know. That sounds beggy. Who cares? Moving on. We're going to hop right on into it without further ado. Ozzy, how have you been? I know it's only been a week. I just saw you last night, but the audience hasn't seen you in a week or heard from you in a week. So you know, how have you been?
I've been really good,
That's
just
good.
working along, and you know, I'm even better now. As I finish my bottle of Dr. Pepper and read that it's an authentic blend of 23 different flavors.
Did you not know that?
I did not.
That's like their whole thing on.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it took me 20 years, almost 21 years to realize this. Almost that many flavors in Dr. Pepper. And flavors, that's the flavor. Boom. I stand my case. Or say my case, rather, because no one can see me standing.
All right. Ozzy, glad to have you back on here. I definitely, it's great. It's great. I'm going to have my assistant, Samantha, put it down in the books that, you got to put you on the watch list of the That's the Flavor guests, but it's okay. Welcome back.
You asked me.
Sure.
I have the texts.
I'm pretty sure I have the proof of the last episode where you go and say, I need to be on that one. I better be on that one.
You could say something and it doesn't mean it has to come true, Christian.
I don't know about that, but moving on, we then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, I just got to keep moving on. It's just going to be awkward silence. Kind of number to jump off from. We're also joined by Fran. So, Fran, again, welcome to the podcast. Your first time being on. And it's been a minute since we've talked, as I sent you the said text being like, hey, you want to be on my podcast? I haven't talked to you in a minute. Sure.
Yeah.
But how have you been?
I've been pretty good, all things considered, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday I did a lot of planting. I have a lot of new plants because that's my coping mechanism.
Nice.
Snaps
what
to that.
That was snaps.
That was me.
Other than that, a whole lot of nothing. Finished up working. We're living our life.
Nice. That's what we like to hear here on That's the Flavor.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for those of you guys that don't know, which is the whole audience, but me and Fran, I've kind of known Fran since like elementary school. Like she's existed, but we weren't really like friends until I don't know. I say like junior year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yes, definitely somewhere in high school.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, this person, I know you exist, and now it's like we're friends. So
Yay!
yeah, and that's me and Fran. But Fran, I have a question. I've asked every person on their first time on. I've asked Ozzy, Matthew, everybody when they've been on. What is your go-to memory if you had to be like, hey, this is Christian? What is your go-to memory?
Okay, the one that jumped immediately to my head was when we were doing Midsummer and you fell down the metal staircase. That is immediately what comes to my mind. From the top of the costume loft to the stage, like to the stage floor, you were just gone. Like 1 second you were up in the costume loft, the next second you weren't.
Memories.
So this is a fun story here, and then, that's what we do here on That's the Flavor. So for the audience, it was the day of our student assemblies for Midsummer Night's Dream. I was the part of Lysander, a great time. And we'll talk. There's a lot of stories tied to Midsummer, so we'll hit them all up at some point. But we were prepping. I was running my actual school stuff up to the costume loft area. It's up a bunch of stairs, but it was also time for us to do our mic check. So I was trying to rush, wearing a pair of dress shoes, slipped down a metal staircase, and busted open my elbow. Pretty sure I gave myself a concussion, though that was never proven. And I say proven, I mean I should have just gone to a doctor, but I never did. And people were like, "Oh, Christian, it's mic check," and I was like, "Dude, my elbow is bleeding. Leave me alone." And then I got to go get it bandaged up and do both of our assemblies, both on pain meds and also just a bandaged up arm, and it was a great time.
I forgot that was on the assembly day.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was great because that was just a weird day, because then later on that day we were running the actual show, and that's when Ozzy fell off the stage twice, mind you, before we were then stopped.
Cursed.
God.
We were for sure cursed. I don't know what happened, but that show cast was something else.
You can't forget the first injury of all was when Fran got slammed and got a concussion.
I got dropped on my head on the concrete floor.
Oh man.
Did you guys know, actually, the day or two after that, I went up to one of the lofts and I hit my head into an iron bar. And I was with one other person, and I'm pretty sure I got concussed again. And I was like, "We don't talk about this."
Yes, you're more susceptible to getting another concussion after you've gotten your first.
Yeah, I bunked my head pretty hard.
Fran, no.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks.
Oh man, I remember in Midsummer when we were doing a full run of a scene, but the Sench wanted me to redo it because of just the way I was doing. She's like, yeah, you got to be more hurried about it. But this was before we put the sand on the ramps and stuff to make them less slippery. And so I was like, all right, fine, I'll hurry. And I went and I turned and just slipped and face planted onto the ground of the set, and then got up and tried to keep doing the scene. And then they were like, no, go back, reset. But I just ran out, face plant. I was like, no, I'm good, we're okay, let's keep going.
No.
That show.
Memories.
Memories indeed. But no, that's a great one. And that also led to a great story where I hurt myself. So, that's a good one. We're going to put that one in the books. But yeah, so that's Fran. It's still Ozzy. He hasn't changed in the 3 minutes since I asked him the question. But
how do you know?
All right, Ozzy, how have you changed in the last 3 minutes since I've asked you the question?
I blew my nose.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
So now we're going to hop into some Twitter questions here. Questions from the Twitter. And these ones are going to make us... I feel like there's going to be an argument here. There could be some questioning, some fighting. So just get ready. Put your gloves on because we're going to war. So
this is what I came here for. Here to fight.
Question number 1 is from @Yashova or Shiva. I don't know. There's not a vowel between the H and the V, so I don't know, man. There should be another vowel there. That's not a cool sound. What...
We're actually here to fight the people asking questions. That's the purpose.
Or roast their handle.
Look, I'm a great host. Twitter loves me. It's fine. But what flavor is That's the Flavor? And I feel like I've been asked this question, and I never have a good answer for it because I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe I need that outsider perspective here, the guest perspective, because I feel like I'm too attached to the project.
What
Really?
flavor is That's the Flavor? I feel like it's something that you know it when you hear it. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something's the flavor. It's the flavor.
Yeah, so I think I can kind of piggyback on that, Fran. Like, That's the Flavor is like one of those things you eat and you're like, whoa, this is really cool. And then you're like, what was it that gave me that flavor? And then you eat a whole bunch of things and you're like, no, that's not the flavor. And then you eat it again and you're like, that's the flavor. And that's the flavor.
That right there is the flavor.
See, I've kind of always looked at it in my perspective as like a Dr. Pepper situation, as we were just talking at the top of the show.
Boom.
And because I mean, yeah, like it's not a full circle. I mean, it is, but like it's been 11 minutes.
Seems pretty full.
Boom.
Dang it.
Even Fran agrees with me.
How many times can Ozzy say full circle in this episode? Let's find out.
I'm up to 3.
Fair point. But yeah, like a Dr. Pepper situation, because Dr. Pepper's 23 flavors, and I feel like that's the flavor always changes, especially depending on who's on the show and what we're talking about, and like people's perspectives on things. So like you're never getting the same bit of comedy like twice. I don't know. That's how I've always thought about it.
That checks out. That makes sense.
Yeah, I like it.
And I think also from when That's the Flavor was a book that I was working on, which is, again, something I haven't talked about on the show, which, again, at that one point, That's the Flavor was not a podcast. It was a book. I had a couple chapters written. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm going to do this instead. But, like, none of those stories are the same. Like, and I think that's just another thing. Like, there is no one flavor to That's the Flavor. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're flavors that can be revisited and thus have a new flavor.
Just like there's no carnival goldfish that is the same, you know?
Boom. It's back. It's never going to leave.
Man, I gotta stop bringing up the look, here's the issue. If I keep bringing up the carnival goldfish, we're gonna go back to like the first 3 episodes, so That's the Flavor, which literally we talked about Homeward Bound 1, Homeward Bound 2, and then the never released Homeward Bound 3. That's what happened in the first 3 episodes of the show, and I can't do that again. I gotta stop bringing up the carnival goldfish.
I want you to know that I can never think of my college town and a certain area and not think of Homeward Bound now, because that's where I was listening to that episode, and now every time I'm in that spot, I'm like, what's that movie with like the pug and the dogs? Yeah, Homeward Bound. Yeah.
Wait, there's not a pug in Homeward Bound.
I haven't seen Homeward Bound, but I know there's not a pug in it.
Oh god, I'm going back down this rabbit hole. Homeward Bound.
Yeah, there's probably not a pug.
Dun, dun, dun. Homeward.
I think it's because I connect Homeward Bound and Milo and Otis because they're 2 stories about dogs and animals.
Yeah, you have Shadow the golden retriever, Chance the bulldog, and then there's a cat, and it doesn't say her name. I think it's Sassy. Yeah, Sassy the cat.
Sassy.
And there you go. For everybody who was wondering where Homeward Bound went, there you go. There's your 2 minutes of fame. Never bringing it up again. If I do, I'm just going to cut it out of the episode.
It's always in your heart.
Yeah. But the next Twitter question comes from @Humoran on Twitter. Again, because that's where I ask people to send me questions. But what is the best fast food?
Ooh. Like, are we going for a certain kind of fast food or like in general?
Well, here's what I was thinking. We got to be like, you know what I mean? Dance carefully here, because are we talking like overall like best like company, or are we talking just their food?
We're talking food. My vote's for Wendy's.
I was going to say Wendy's.
I might have to join you guys.
I just think the variety at Wendy's is really nice. Like if you want a good fast food burger, go to Wendy's. If you want a good like fast food chicken, go to Wendy's. You can get spicy nuggets. You can get regular nuggets. You can get a spicy chicken sandwich. You can get a regular spicy chicken regular sandwich.
So you can get a spicy chicken sandwich. You can get a regular spicy chicken sandwich.
I think I judge a place mostly on its fries.
Yes.
And like Wendy's has some banging fries.
True. And dip those in a Frosty. underrated.
Yeah, like, it has a shtick, right? You dip the fries in the Frosty. There's a shtick there, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. I think that goes on, like, I don't know, people like dipping fries in Frosties. It's like, dipping fries in a milkshake, which people find weird. And I don't understand that because that was like the thing back in the day, But like people are like, oh, that's weird. And it's like, no, that happened a lot, actually. I don't know.
It still happens a lot.
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there are more people now that are like, whoa, that's a little weird. That's a little too much. And I just can't agree with them.
Well, some people are wrong.
That's just it. Some people are wrong. And I feel like they've just got to find a way to be okay with that, knowing they're wrong for the rest of their life.
Yeah, it will be hard, but they'll get through it.
Hey,
they'll figure it out.
Once you accept this, it makes you not only a stronger person, but a better person.
Yeah. Alrighty. So now we're moving on to, I think, the topic that will rip us back apart forever and we'll never speak again. Because this is the big topic, as I have it bolded on my quick notes of things to talk about. But who would win in a fight? Now, the audience, you heard me talk about this at the end of last episode. Kind of asked you guys. Nobody responded on Twitter to what they thought. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I hold nothing against you, except everything. But I've brought on two experts to the case here. I think we're there at the founding discussion of this and have been there through the thick and thin of it. And they've been there through the dogs barking in the background.
I'm sorry.
The other fights.
Trying to find the mute myself option.
Ozzy's looking at the keyboard. He's like, the caps lock, isn't it?
Hey. Oh no, that's not it. Balls.
Oh no.
Keep going.
All right. And then, so the big fight here. Who would win in a? I already said who would win in a fight. God damn it. Who would win in a fight? 15 baby ducklings, or just ducklings, because that means they're babies.
Redundant.
Yeah, I know.
This kind of rolls off the tongue, though.
Or a Shaquille O'Neal sized loaf of Wonder Bread.
All right, so we do have to lay down some ground rules. Because this is what affects the fight. Because if you're just going to say the bread and the ducklings, it's going to be the ducklings. Because the bread has nothing to lose.
Now, before we get into this, because I feel like that is an important to establish, I want to get into how this came to be. Because as we we're discussing at the beginning here, when we're bringing you guys, doing a little bit of pre-show scenarios, talking, having a good time, me and Ozzy got into it a little bit on when this came to be. Now, looking around.
I have the tweet. I snapshot. What is it called? Like, I screen captured the tweet about when it came to pass.
Yeah, so the tweet was out on November 2nd, 2017. Yeah. And if it happened on a Folger trip, which I'm pretty sure it did.
I know it happened on a Folger trip.
It would have to be Antony and Cleopatra.
I don't remember the dates of the shows.
It was from October to November 2017.
I don't relate that memory to Antony and Cleopatra.
See, that's exactly where I'm at, Fran, because I know this exact debate was brought up before we tweeted it on Twitter.
Wait a minute, hang on. It's coming back to me now. So, I think that the debate started as we went and saw As You Like It, because As You Like It was like the weird show, because it had got snowed out. And we had to go and do a night show scenario, and I think there was a different energy on that. And I think we got into the debate there, and then I feel like fast forward to what would have been the next show, the next school year. At least no, it would have been the next school year. What Antony and Cleopatra? I feel like we brought it back up and had to put an end to it once and for all kind of scenario.
I thought that I tweeted it out when it first came up. I could be wrong.
I could be wrong too.
But here's so following that tweet though, there's another tweet that you put out, Fran, and it was who would win in a fight part 2, and it was on the same day as the original one, and it was a bear with shark fins or a shark with bear arms.
I forgot about that one.
So I think that we just knocked them all out, and we were like, all right, we got to put these ones out into the world.
I feel
no. Another one was also brought up.
like whenever I think of one of those who would win in a fight questions, it's usually because I'm talking to fill up some space. So if I just rolled a bunch of those out, I feel like they all happened on the same day, and we were all just in a very weird mental space.
Yeah.
Because we were all like, I think we were all like hyped up, because we were on a school trip on like a Sunday night, because we had off school on Monday.
Yeah.
Because
of whatever.
Something. And so we were all like, yeah, we're cool. We're going to a place. And we all had to like look nice tomorrow.
We had to like look nice and stuff because it was like an actual performance and not like a So I think it might have been As You Like It when it was brought up, but I feel like the tweets from the dates and stuff had to have been put out when we went to go see Antony and Cleopatra.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. And for the audience who's a little confused, we're just shouting out play names. When we were in high school, we were in a Shakespeare class, and basically twice a year we would go see different shows at the Folger in DC, where they put on performances mainly of Shakespeare, but there's other things as well. Like I have their previous shows put up, and there's other stuff in there too. But it's Shakespeare. And yeah, so like As You Like It was a show we saw. Antony and Cleopatra was a show we saw. They are Shakespeare plays, plays of William Shakespeare. And yeah, so that's kind of what we're talking about for everybody who's confused, which I bet is a lot of you, unless you're just good at following along stories, and I'm an idiot. But so like that's how the story came to be, and I think that it was one of those things where everybody knows me. I'm not the brightest crown in the box. I'm like a dark purple. So I was like, hey guys, who would win in a fight? And everyone's like, whoa, Christian, that's dumb. But yeah, sure, I'll hold up the argument. And then it got into a big thing where a bus full of high schoolers were like, yeah, let's take sides, But yeah. So now we go back to it. The parameters.
Yes, because this is where the argument is made or it breaks.
It's true.
Right. So I feel like it has to be on land.
Yes, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Is it an infinite fight? Like is it just like until like the last group standing? I was gonna say man, but they're ducks. Or is it like a time thing?
I think it's last fighter standing.
Yeah. It's like a Smash Bros kind of thing.
All right. What other parameters are we missing here then? We got location, we have time limit.
There's there's a lot around the bread itself.
Right, yes, this is always a discussion.
Is it still in the plastic?
Yeah. Is it still in the plastic wrap? Can it feel? Can it move? Can it think?
Which I think my defense has been that it is always just a loaf of bread. It's not sentient.
No.
It has no
Shaquille O'Neal sized loaf of Wonder Bread.
Yeah, it's just a lot of bread.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess the argument, okay, so is it or is it not still in the plastic?
I think even if it's not, it can't be a given to I would like to think the Ducklings would win.
I don't know. My heart goes out to those Ducklings. I think they can do anything. I'm for the underdog, and I think that's the underdog in this story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried that the bread would fall over and crush them.
So that's just it. I was talking to some people about this again. It got brought up. And I think that's just it. Depending on how the ducks eat it, if they all just attack one side, it's going to tumble over and crush them.
See, but that's not how I picture it. I picture that all of the baby ducklings would attack the toes. And so they would be attacking the toes and they'd kind of just eat their way up,
Are you imagining it as as Wonder Bread that is shaped like Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah.
I've always just imagined it's his height and width.
I'm with Fran. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was always because you guys always talked about it being the height and width of it, so I just thought it was a whole bunch of bread in the shape of the bottom.
No, it's just a big loaf of bread.
It's just a model of Shaquille O'Neal made out of Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Size loaf of Wonder Bread.
No, I think I was going more for just it's the height and width and weight of Shaquille O'Neal.
All right. My vote's still for the Ducklings.
And that's fine, but there's no toes to attack.
So before we get too far into our argument, I mean, we're already far into it, but I want to point out that the original poll was 80. I can't read. 48.6 to 51.4 in favor of the Ducklings.
Yeah.
So that makes it what? Like, I can't do math. Who knows? It's a very short gap.
Close.
Yeah, it's extremely close. We're not math majors. We're in the theater game. But so like that's how close it was. I think that there's an argument on either sides. I'm gonna go back to where I stand my ground on, which that's just way too much bread.
It's a lot of bread, and
it's a lot.
Ducks aren't supposed to eat bread.
Yeah,
it's bad for them. It's bad for their little tummies, for their little duckling tummies.
Yeah, but baby ducklings are hungry. Like they gotta grow. They gotta grow somehow.
Yeah.
All right, guys, hang on.
And okay, so I've thought about this. I've been really thinking about this because I've been really prepping for this episode. Whenever Christian said, "Hey, when are you free?" So I had this very good thought driving home from work one day, and so I know the point has been thrown out that baby ducklings cannot eat bread, and that actually bread makes ducks' stomachs explode. I'm pretty sure that is a scientific fact that somebody has looked up. But I thought of this. What if the baby ducklings, like 888, threw up? 888 threw up. 888 threw up. Because thus the bread is not bread anymore, and it is just throw up.
So wait. Are you just saying they're gonna?
Like, my question is, if you're going with that logic, why do they even have to swallow it? Why don't they just tear it apart?
Great point.
Oh, because they ate it and they digested it, so they ate and they won. But
okay,
this is them to get the standpoint, and a lot of animals do wind up eating their throw up, so then they'd probably eat it whenever they're like hungry.
That still can't be good for them.
They won the war, Fran. That's all that matters.
They won the war. So I want to go from an express.co.uk article, which the question is, will bread kill ducks? And this quote is, although bread is not harmful to ducks on its own, it fills them up, and they then do not feel the need, any need to eat anything else, which can in turn be dangerous. So I don't, and I need to go keep looking on some Google here, but I don't think that I think the bread explosion is a myth. Like the stomach explosion is a myth. I'm still not certain on that, but it's more of the bread's more of a deception factor. Because again, assumedly, like these ducks can't wander away and come back. I don't think. Like I feel like it's it's got to be like a ring scenario because it is a fight.
Yeah.
So I think that like if these ducks only have the opportunity to eat bread, they're screwed.
Oh, but if they still, like, I feel like my theory can still stand because, as we have expressed at the beginning, that this is not a timed fight. This is a fight of whoever is still left standing. They can just throw it up, wait like 30 minutes, and then they'll probably be hungry again, and then just dig back in.
Yeah, but you're assuming they're going to throw it up.
And this is just one theory.
With Ozzy's theory here, if I may.
Sure.
If I may. Is would it benefit the ducks to have like a duck trainer on hand, like how wrestlers have coaches on hand to like give them water? Would these like duck people give them grapes or something?
You pan over and it's just a really old duck with a baseball cap on, towel over his like on his back, and a water bottle like next to him.
I was just thinking the mother duckling was just like,
oh no,
sweetie.
No,
we're talking like old Jerry.
She has to hire outside help for this.
Yeah.
This is
so
important.
Who would coach the bread? Shaquille O'Neal himself.
Yeah. Or it would be the bakers that Wonder Bread.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Well, how is Wonder Bread even made?
So that's what I was looking into. Wonder Bread. Okay, so let's go into this. Wonder Bread. Huh? How Wonder Bread's made in Mexico? Interesting.
It's made different.
Wonder Bread is produced in Mexico by Grupo Bimbo, the largest baking company in the world.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense that they're making a Shaquille O'Neal-sized loaf of Wonder Bread.
As with the Canadian Wonder Bread, this is not a license since Bimbo bought the Wonder Bread brand and factories in Mexico. The package is the same as the one used in the United. Okay, you're just telling me history. You're not telling me how to bake it. Also, I like the name Grupo Bimbo. Let's just Google how was Wonder Bread made.
Wonder Bread recipe. Like, make your own Wonder Bread at home.
You're saying we do this? We go and make a big loaf of bread? Yeah.
I'll start breeding the ducks.
Yeah, I was like, gotta get 15 ducklings.
And we'll just go to Tractor Supply Co.
Yeah, they do have them. Yeah.
We do.
Oh, but I feel like we need to for this to be an authentic science experiment. We need to breed and raise the ducklings so we know that there was no exterior. What's the word I'm looking for?
Influences?
Yes, thank you. Exterior influences that could affect the data of them eating the bread.
We have to raise the ducklings to have an intense hatred for Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
All right, so I found a recipe here from food.com.
Oh, that's a straightforward URL.
Yeah, for homemade Wonder Bread. So we're going to go through the ingredients here real quick. 2.5 teaspoons of active dry yeast, 1/4 cup of warm water, 1 tablespoon of white sugar, 4 cups all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of instant potato flakes, a 1/4 cup of powdered milk, 2 teaspoons of salt, a 1/4 cup of white sugar. Why is there 1 tablespoon of white sugar and then
The 1 tablespoon would be used to activate the dry yeast.
Good point.
Speaking as a baker myself.
Fair point.
We have the baking specialist on call.
This is a good point. This is 2 tablespoons of butter or 2 tablespoons of margarine and 1 cup of warm water.
That is about 4 more ingredients than I thought went into Wonder Bread.
Yeah, why is powdered milk in there?
Because it has to be wonderful.
Wait, but does the powdered milk make it wonderful?
I'd say so.
I think the other bigger question is the instant potato flakes.
Yeah,
it is Wonder Bread. It has to bring you wonder.
Okay, but do instant potato flakes bring you wonder?
No, that's the point. Because we're wondering why they're putting potato flakes in their bread. Wonder Bread.
Oh, checkmate, Wonder Bread. Checkmate, Grupo Bimbo. All right.
We see you. We see you.
All righty, we're on to them. So, I don't feel like that gave us any clue, because I don't think there's enough potato flakes in there to like make it less of. It just makes it more of like a starch and less nutritious. I think. So, I still think the bread wins. There's just too much of it.
I think it depends on the tactics of the ducklings.
All right, let me throw out my only bone here for the duckling team.
Okay.
Which what if the ducks were to stack on top of each other, and then eat one corner at a time? Like they just kind of like rotate around, and they're just knocking out the outside.
That's a similar argument as the other who would win in a fight, the sun. Or 3 trillion lions.
Yes. Oh, right.
Yes. The animal stacking plays a large part in that fight as well.
Hey, wait, how?
Oh no, but that one we have determined that they would be on like an even playing ground kind of thing. Like they would be both in a ring. Like the sun would be right in front of it, and then there'd be like all of Africa with 3 trillion lions.
See, that's. No, nothing's going to beat the sun.
3 trillion lions will.
No, in what world? I asked my boss this question at work. All of these questions. He was also in favor of
that's a lot of lions.
Yeah. So doing some math here to see if they could even stack up to the 7 feet of shack. Because if they stack up and it's like, all right, we're stacked up and we're eating the thing, they might not even be tall enough to eat all 7 feet, and then the top will just collapse on them.
How tall is the average duckling?
5 inches.
Oh, not looking good for the 15
Yeah.
ducklings.
So we'll say, even though it's not true, for the sake of the ducklings, actually, they might be.
75 inches.
Yeah, but what does that divide out to in feet?
That's 6.25 feet.
So they're like a foot short, 11 inches.
But what if they jumped? And can these ducklings fly yet?
I don't think ducklings can fly.
Yeah.
But it depends on the age of the ducklings, doesn't it?
But at some point, they're not ducklings anymore. They're just ducks, and that's not.
Oh, see, this is another thing. Is like, at what age are the ducklings when they're doing this? Like, are they just like, are they small? Like,
I don't think that they're fresh out of the egg, but I don't think that they're old enough to like fend for themselves that much.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna look this up.
All right. So here's what I'm thinking. What if, and Ozzy makes a great point. So they're like 11 inches short. I'm wondering if the ducks, like the other 14 ducks on the bottom, could boost the top duckling up to the top. And so he or she starts eating down from the top.
Oh.
Yeah. But can a duckling jump 11 inches? This is now the new question.
Well, if they like stacked the jump so that they each only had to jump like an inch, you know?
Yeah.
Or is it all resting on the duck at the bottom?
How high can baby ducks jump? Wait.
Well, ducklings are able to fly within 5 to 8 weeks.
Ozzy, better point. Just one day after hatching, occasionally up to 4 days, wood ducklings can jump 65 feet.
But like horizontally, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say, friend?
Like it's not their vertical jump, right? It's like a horizontal leap.
Yeah, but what if they like leapfrogged it? So like the one jumped, so then when the other one jumped, it would get higher and then higher and then higher, and so then they could get on top of it.
Guys, what if they just climb it?
They do have webbed feet. I feel like they could climb it.
They have
bread's
little
soft.
claws.
Yeah.
But is the bread structurally sound enough for them to climb it?
I think so. It's 7 feet.
But bread's still bread, man.
Yeah, and Wonder Bread is thick.
Yes, but also Wonder Bread is also processed. We're not talking like a hearty, well-made loaf of bread here. We're talking processed Wonder Bread.
Yeah, okay. I've stuck my finger in Wonder Bread before, and it stayed fine.
Wait. What's the story there? Hang on.
Unimportant, but yeah.
And I feel like your puppies in the background also want to know.
No. Let's focus on the subject at hand.
Oh, okay, Ozzy. All right, sure. We'll come back to that one day. But before we continue on with the debate, I want to let you guys all know that That's the Flavor this week happens to be sponsored by twitter.com/that'stheflavor or at That's the Flavor on Twitter minus the apostrophe, because apostrophes are complications. Well, you know, the Twitter. It's where I do things like tweet out, hey, how'd you guys like the episode? Hey, do you guys have questions? Hey, the episode's out. There's a lot of haze.
Hey, who would win in a fight?
Yeah, maybe I'll put that out just for curiosity. And honestly, I'm just saying that's just where like the stuff happens, you know? And there's going to be other stuff happening somewhere else eventually, in other places eventually. But for now, that's the spot. That's the hangout. And there's been a lot of good activity on Twitter this week, so I appreciate you guys that have followed, that have replied, liked, retweeted, etc. So yeah, go check it out, twitter.com/that'stheflavor. And yeah, that's the ad for this week.
Also, our second ad of That's the Flavor is a new business that Christian Cameron and I have started.
Oh, we're bringing this up right now?
Yes. I thought this was a good time. It just thought to me.
But there's nothing there yet.
Shh, we got to get people's hopes, and they have to be on the lookout.
Hang on, what does it say if I type it in?
So, everyone who's listening this should be on the lookout for notbuzzfeed.com. It's coming to an internet service near you.
That wasn't even a good ad. That was a terrible sell on nothing.
But they don't know what it is, so they're going to be interested to see what it's about.
Well, it's definitely not BuzzFeed.
Boom.
All right. And there go your ads. Mainly on the Twitter. Don't worry about the not BuzzFeed thing. That's a joke.
But
technically it's not. We did
buy a website.
We did buy a website last night.
Cameron bought.
Cameron made the initial investment. It's a long story. We'll talk about it at a later date.
For another episode.
Exactly. We got to get back to this debate because we're already in. I don't think we're anywhere near coming to an answer. We're all kind of in our own different camps. So let's get down to it. I'm going to throw away my allegiance to the bread because I think we've brought in some interesting arguments here. But, where's everybody's heads at now after these new discoveries and using the internet? We probably should have done the first time. But
we were naive back then.
Yeah.
Now we're adults.
Oh, God, no. Are we? All right, Fran, where's your head at? What are you thinking here?
What I'm thinking is if we're for sure going the route that the bread cannot, it is not sentient, it cannot think or move, then I've got to give my vote to the ducklings.
All right, Ozzy, calm it down there. All right, whoa. Ozzy, I think I already know where your head's at, but go ahead and tell me what you're thinking here.
I'm actually in favor of the Wonder Bread. No, I fooled you. No, I've always been for the ducklings. And no, after looking up science, because science rules. Thank you, Bill Nye, the science guy.
Great point.
I really do feel like the science is kind of starting to give it in favor of the ducklings. I think ducklings have a lot more abilities than people don't see. So my vote's still for the ducklings.
So I think that I don't know. I'm stuck on it because I think if the bread's not sentient, I feel like it has to go to the ducklings just because I feel like they're crafty, you know?
But so I'm sorry to interrupt. You continue.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
no, I was going to say, I have to give it to the ducklings. I think that they just have more options being a sentient group of ducklings. You know, they're ducklings. They can do things. But it's hard for me to wrap my head around the fact of that much bread, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's just a lot of bread.
I feel like for us to really get an accurate representation, we need to make this, or we need to make a scale model of this bread.
That'd be so much bread to make.
So hang on, guys. I'm bringing in an outside source here.
Oh, my.
So, Mother, who do you think would win in a fight? 15 baby ducklings or a Shaquille O'Neal-sized loaf of Wonder Bread?
Yeah!
Do you know how much bread, though, is... Do you know how that's a lot of bread?
That's a lot of ducklings.
Yeah!
Oh, wow.
That's my second mom!
All right, so I don't think you're taking all the parameters here.
What, you just want me to pick the other answer?
No, not really, because I'm kind of on the fence. But I don't know, I'm also kind of team bread. But
I'm gonna go with team bread.
Yeah, team bread.
All right, team ducklings. 15 of them.
Yeah, because technically for legal branding, we can't say team Shaq bread because we don't have the ownership of Shaq legally. So.
But we have the ownership of Shaq bread.
Well, we don't. I don't think you know how trademarks work. All right, Mother, think
trademarked it.
We'll see what happens. All right, so there we go. I feel like again. Okay, so we're gonna table this because until we look into the research here and we find out and we do some testing. I talked to my people at the lab, at Flavor Incorporated, what ducklings' edible output is here. I feel like we have to say ducklings for now until there's something that's definitive. No way.
So, all right. As much as I am a fan of the ducklings, I did have to think of a thought this past time. So we also, I feel like, are kind of overlooking the fact that they are babies and they are ducklings. We, in fact, are not babies or ducks. So we don't necessarily know what is in the duck brain. would they be smart enough to fly up to the top, or are they just going to see bread and then this is going to go back to the first initial point of would the bread just cave in on them?
So, how smart are ducks? We're just going to go ducks. I mean, ducklings, we can just assume they are less smart. Than actual ducks. Ducks are highly intelligent and emotional creatures. They can understand commands, play with toys, play games, give kisses, and beg for snuggles like other birds if you take the time to work with them. If handled frequently and gently from an early age, ducks will become quite sociable with other people.
Oh, that just made my heart happy.
But unless, again, are we talking again trained ducklings, or are we talking wild ducklings?
I personally would like them to be trained.
Just see one do a backflip off the top of the stack, like onto the bread.
That would be pretty cool.
Train one to ride in on a skateboard.
Why do I feel like this is like a death battle? Like one of those animated things?
The skateboard duck like shows up late. Like the other 14 are getting prepped in a circle. Like, oh man, where's Daryl? Oh no! And then it's like, all right, the fight's about to start, and it's like a 1 minute till like it starts, and you just see Daryl ride in sunglasses and a skateboard. He stops, brings down the sunglasses, and he just goes quack, and all the other ducks go crazy. Like, because Daryl was recruited from like the south side of town where things were a little rougher, and things got bad between him and the other ducklings, but he still showed up, He was still there for the man.
Because family first.
Yeah, family first. Even though Daryl was adopted. Although I guess it doesn't mean he's less of a family member. Never mind. We're gonna table that one.
Chosen family.
Yeah. We're gonna table that one. What is my life? Man. So yeah, I guess we have to say ducklings for now then. I feel like there's too many variables of ducklings that ducklings could do that the bread can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair points. There we go. Everybody all around toasts. Even though I kind of lost, but also I didn't have a horse in the race. I'm just a dude hanging out, having a good time. So Ozzy, how do you feel after this win? Because I know you've been Team Duckling since day one. I know it's been a rough road for you. How do you feel now after the fact?
It's just it's a lot. I just feel like a lot of people they shit on the ducklings, saying they're just ducklings. How are they gonna beat that much bread? But they're ducklings. They can grow up and they can be whatever they want to be. And if they want to be Shack-sized loaf eaters of Wonder Bread, then they can be that. So that makes me happy. And go, baby ducklings! I love you.
Now, Fran, going into this, I wasn't really sure of your horse in the race. Like, how do you feel after we've kind of come to the conclusion for now, until we can find more research and evidence?
I am satisfied with the answer of duckling. I think it makes sense. It's a secure answer. It's the safe answer. And I think we all just need a little bit of security nowadays. Knowing that a duck could win a fight against some bread. I think that's comforting to all those Americans listening at home.
So,
snaps to that.
I know that, I've been Team Bread. But I have a shocking revelation. It turns out, if I go and look at the Twitter poll, I voted Team Ducklings 3 years ago.
I've been under your skin all these years.
Something I didn't realize until now. And maybe, I misclicked. Who knows? I'm never going to admit that I was Team Ducklings, except for the Twitter poll that proves it.
You did not misclick.
But, yeah, I think that the ducklings can just probably do cool things. And those talk about said cool things has given me more cool t-shirt ideas, Ozzy. So.
Oh. Awesome.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, cool t-shirt ideas. Yeah.
So that can be our ad next week. Your ad next week.
Can it?
It could.
I don't think you know how long it takes to one, set up a shop of merch, and two, design a t-shirt.
Well, no, it was. Oh, okay, never mind.
Wait. Did I not? Wait. Did I not? Let's back it up here. What did I miss?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Ozzy, break it down for me. Yeah.
No. We don't have enough time.
I mean, we do.
The viewers at home don't want to listen to this.
Oh, okay. All right.
It just cuts to technical difficulties, and then it's the outro.
Ozzy, I'm really proud of you too because I don't have to bleep anything this week.
I was being very, very.
I'm so proud of you.
Wording.
And just wait till one day when we start doing this show live, like I have plans for.
Oh. I need to ask a serious question. Am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, I swore last week. Yeah.
Well, I think I swore, but I've been trying to keep it at a minimum.
No, man, you can let it rip. You know.
You don't want that sometimes.
I mean, maybe not let it rip, but like a nice soft lawnmower. You know, not like a loud one, but like.
And now that you say let it rip, that leads to our third and final ad of the podcast, Beyblade. Let it rip.
All right. So,
Yep.
on that note, we got the dogs in the background. We've got the dogs in the background. We've discussed the big topic of the week. And I feel like it's something that's still going to come back up. I'll probably ask every new guest or returning guest what their thoughts are, if they've changed. I feel like this is going to be like that never-ending topic. But why did you... Ozzy, no, I'm trying to outro. Why'd you unmute? The dogs are still barking. No.
They supersede the mute. The dogs
Yeah.
don't care about your mute button.
They stopped for a little bit. I thought I was clear.
It's all right. You may be clear now. It's okay.
Go, Gadget, go!
But this episode has been a lot of fun. Like I said last week, I've had a new guest on. We got a new guest. And there's going to be more new guests as well. Like, I don't think Ozzy's going to be on next week. Just not of the fact I hate Ozzy, but the fact that, we're trying to shop around some people. Not shop around, have on some people and talk around, have a good time. And discuss stories that maybe don't include Ozzy.
Ozzy's getting the
I
boot.
see.
Your reign
Ozzy,
is
you'll
over,
be
Ozzy.
back. Ozzy, you'll be back, bud.
That's what they always say.
Don't worry, champ. Sport. I don't know, whatever you want to go by. But until next time,
Ozzy?
everybody.
Come on.
That's what I want to go by, is Ozzy.
But
Outro.
I'm working on it, friend. We're losing him.
You lost me years ago.
What does that mean?
We never really had him, Christian.
He was always gone. But oh man. On that note, I want to say a big thank you to Ozzy for being on episode number 6 here of That's a Flavor. Yeah, it's at the beginning of the episode. It's episode number 6. Wow.
My pleasure. These are a lot of fun.
Thank you for being on. Fran, thank you for coming on. Being on your first episode of the show is definitely a good time. I hope you had a good time as well.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And you're welcome back anytime. Both of you are. Everybody is. The audience, I hope, is welcome back every time. The guests, everybody, come on back. We'll have a good time. Maybe one day on episode 100, we'll have like every single guest I've had on at the same time. We'll see how that goes. But until next time, go follow at That's the Flavor on Twitter. Go listen to all the other episodes if you haven't listened to them on your favorite podcast service. I've been Christian Slatter. These have been my guests. And this has been That's the Flavor for the week. I will talk to you guys all next time. Take care and have a good one.